and welcome to Chant Day. We are here on the 24th of April, and we're about to chant the Psalm. Let's get started. Happy, happy, happy. What day are we in? Wednesday. This Psalm is 143. And 143 is a Psalm of David. It's titled, My Life Thirsts for Jah. So in this Psalm, we have about, 12 verses. We're going to get right into it right now. So in verse 1, hear or listen. I use the word listen. Listen to my voice as I communicate with the Most High. Listen to I pleas for mercy. In the Most High's faithfulness, answer I, and in the Most High's righteousness. Verse 2, enter not into judgment with I, Jah servants, for no one living is righteous before the Most High. Verse 3, for the enemy has pursued I life and has crushed I life to the ground, making I sit in despair as those long gone. Verse 4, so I don't use the word darkness. Darkness or black or blackness. Those are powerful words that need to be uplifted, and we should not use them in a negative way. So instead of darkness or blackness, I use despair, down pressing. So the Most High has made I sit in oppression as those long dead, or despair or depression. Therefore, in verse 4, therefore I righteousness faints within I heart within I is appalled. So in verse 4, we see a weakening of David when it comes to his goodness and righteousness. Verse 5, I remember the days of ancient. I meditate on all that the Most High have done. I ponder the work of the Most High's hands. Verse 6, I stretch out I hands to the Most High. I life thirsts for the Most High as a parched land. Selah. So in verse 7, David is speaking of answer I quickly, O Most High. I righteousness fails. So he's getting, his patience is run out, his mercy, his compassion, his kindness, his righteousness is failing. And he's speaking of answer I quickly, O Most High, for I righteousness fails, exclamation mark. This is how serious it is. Hide not the Most High's face from I, lest I be as those who go down to the pit. Verse 8, let I listen in the rise of the Most High's steadfast love. For in the Most High I trust. Make I know the way I should go. For to the Most High I lift up I life. Hey, stop it. Verse 9, deliver I from I enemies, O Most High, exclamation mark. I have fled to the Most High for safety. Verse 10, teach I to do the Most High's will. For the Most High is I almighty, exclamation mark. Let the Most High's good righteousness lead I on level ground, exclamation mark. Verse 11, for the Most High's name's sake, O Most High, keep I life. In the Most High's righteousness, bring I life out of trouble. And in the Most High's steadfast love, the Most High will cut off I enemies. They didn't say, I am going to do it. The Most High is going to do it. And the Most High will destroy all the adversaries of I and I life. For I and I am the Most High's servant. Selah and Selah again. Here ends the Psalm 143 today. Bless that the words of my mouth. Thank you for joining the Psalm today. And as we look at our verse today, the verse of the day is coming from 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18 to 19. And it states, "For I and I know that it was not with perishable things." And what is it? The saving of I and I was not with perishable things such as silver or gold, that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed to you from your ancestors. However, with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect. So 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18 to 19 in the New International Version of the Scriptures looks at knowing that it's not about money and material things that we were redeemed from this empty way of life. We think that riches, houses, cars, money, all of this is, what we need, when in fact we don't. And these things were handed down to you from your ancestors. Okay? This empty way of life. However, with the precious knowledge of the shedding of the blood and the blazing of the fire of the Most High, remember there's a devouring fire in front around the Most High. So it's not just the precious blood, but it's also the fire. And that is a lamb without blemish or defect. So in this verse today, it's very interesting and very powerful in that it gives us a sense of, we are saved. We are okay. We shouldn't be sad when we lack anything of this world. We shouldn't be happy when we have an abundance of things of this world. We should be okay no matter what we lack or what we have. That should not be the basis of our happiness. When we get money, we're happy. We can pay that, we can do this. When we don't have money, we're sad, we're stressed. We got this to pay, we got that to pay. So what do we do as servants of children of the Most High? We have to thirst for the Most High. That's what we thirst for. And that thirsting is part of what the Most High is going to be for I and I, is an advocate. So we don't have to deal with the enemies. The Most High will deliver I and I from the enemies because we fled to the Most High for safety. We're not fleeing to our money or our material things for safety. We're fleeing to the Most High. And the Most High is a teacher that will teach I and I to do the Most High's will. For the Most High is I and I Most High, Almighty Savior, and the good righteousness that's going to lead I and I on level ground. So that is where we are putting our trust, is in that Savior that has that power to redeem. So I give thanks for the word today, the Psalm 143, the verse today that's coming from 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18 to 19. This is powerful because it's talking about things that are perishable, that are not going to last. But what's going to last is that knowledge of Christ as in his kingly character as a king of kings and lord of lords, overcoming of the tribe of Judah, Ilek of just self and earth's rightful ruler, is that Most High. So as we move forward, I wanted to share the word today. And the word today is blossom. Blossom. I blossom into a fuller awareness of myself as a divine being. So when you are blossoming into this awareness, you have built a relationship, a communication pathway where you commune with the Most High and you confess. I don't want to use the word confess, it's a con. You reveal your feelings to the Most High. Now, for the word today, blossom, we look at, it speaks of when I want to have a beautiful garden, I choose good soil. So you're using gardening as an example here. And looking for good soil and making sure the seeds I plant receive enough water. So I am planting, I have a little rose bush that I got from, I think it was Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, one of those places. And I repotted it and I used soil that I bought from the store. And what I'm doing with the leftover soil is I am keeping it as a compost. So when I juice my fruits, the remnants of that I put inside the bag with the soil to make more soil. So, and then I water the plants. So in this word today, blossom, we're looking at as the sun shines and the ground warms, I can expect new blossoms to emerge from the ground and reach upward. As tender shoots grow tall, the flowers' petals open to the sun's rays. Isn't that beautiful? I blossom in much the same way. I am planted in righteous truth. I roots drawing nourishment from the love and truth of the Most High. I seek a deeper knowledge of myself as a righteous being, stretching toward the light and warmth of divine knowledge and awareness. Okay, I am getting some folks that are not and it's this is 420 friends. So I am going to put you on a timeout. Yep, you've been timed out. So pardon the rude interruption of this person, 420 friends. When you could create your own channel and go on to your own channel and do foolishness, but do not come on to my channel with foolishness. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. You're a kid, you're a child, you play Fortnite, you're violent, you're hurtful. This is toxic, especially in this early rise. We're not even 7 a.m. yet in the rise, and you are up with foolishness. So I rebuke you in the name of the Most High. Haile, Selassie the First, Kadamawi, 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 Haile, Selassie the First, Jah Rastafari. That was gonna quell you. You better lay low. That's gonna keep you low and keep you on the go away from this channel. So as I was rudely interrupted with the word blossom, I ended up with I seek a deeper knowledge of myself as a righteous being, stretching toward the light and warmth of divine knowledge. As the flower, now we're comparing us to a flower. Um, as a flower, I bloom and stand tall. I roots nurture I with righteous truth as I open I self and stretch toward the sun. So this word today, blossom, is supported by Isaiah 27, verse 6. In days to come, Jacob shall take root. I shall blossom and put forth shoots and fill the full world with fruit. Come here, Baba. I want you to see the people. Yeah, we have some folks on here that's not nice. Yeah, you tell them, stop coming on to this channel with foolishness. Dog Boy 4000, you've been timed out. 420 friends, you've been timed out. Who else? Dog Boy 4000, you've been timed out. This dog, his name is Respect. So we need respect in this world. So that's why I named him Respect. Yes, his name is Respect. You need to have respect for yourself instead of coming on to this channel with foolishness, right, Bubby? Tell the folks. Tell the folks to stop it. So that is our word today, blossom. And Isaiah 27 says it perfectly. In days to come, Jacob is going to take root, and I will blossom and put forth shoots and fill the full world with fruit. Yes, indeed. Isaiah 27, verse 6. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. This is the word blossom. And let's look at, I have my prayer beads. Let's look at the 24th of April as we are finishing up the month of April. In walking with the Savior, we see face to face. Whoever says that he lives in God must live as Jesus lived. So that's 1 John 2, chapter 2, verse 6. So people will talk about they live in God, but they don't live as Jesus lived. They're playing Fortnite. Jesus didn't play Fortnite, and Jesus wasn't violent. So why are you living opposite of that when that's the name that you call? It's similar to one who calls Rastafari, but they're living a totally different way from that. Okay, they're eating pork, chicken, all this stuff. Their lifestyle doesn't, relate to the name that they're calling. So this is important when we look at 1 John chapter 2, verse 6. Whoever says that he lives in the Most High, in righteousness, mercy, kindness, and love, must live as mercy, kindness, and love lived. Remember that the Most High was the Word, and the Word became flesh. So you have to live with that in mind. Like, I'm going to be careful of my words because this is precious. That's why there's power in the tongue. There's life and death in the tongue. When Jesus healed people with the blind, he healed them with the word. So Max Lucado has a comment here, and he says, the Apostle Paul gives us the pure motive for Christian service. Okay, and the word Christian has been, I don't like to call myself that. I call myself a child of the Most High. of the Almighty, the one who sent Melchizedek to bless Abraham, the ancient one. I'm the child of that ancient one. So, oh, excuse me. Ah, thank you. So, if when Paul were here, he'd call us to stand in front of Christ day after day, knowing that the longer we stand face to face with the Most High, with Jesus, with Selassie the First, whatever that face of the Most High is for you, when you stand long, the longer you stand face to face with that, the more dynamic our personal lives will become. So the slave master knew that. So he was not going to put a black face on God. He had to put the oppressive face on God to keep that oppression going. But once you have been released from mental slavery, okay, because some people are in shackles physically, but they're mentally not enslaved. They may be shackled in a jail cell. They may be shackled in a job where they're shackled to a job and to a 401k or to benefits or whatever the case may be, and they're mentally aware. And there are some who are not mentally aware and they're not shackled, but they are mentally enslaved to the oppressor, to the slave master's teachings. So once we stand face to face with the Most High and looking at that face every single day, guess what? It makes our lives more dynamic. Our personal lives become more meaningful because we are seeking that face. And that's why in the Psalm today, it talks about to seek the face of the Most High. Do not, it says in verse 7, hide not your face from I and I. This is Psalm 143, verse 7. Hide not your face from I and I. And Max Lucado talks about that in terms of standing face to face with your Savior, whatever you call that Savior. You can call that Savior Mickey Mouse for all I, think about. It's however you want, whatever you want to call that one, and know what that is behind that. So the labels of God, Lord, and Jesus, they're labels that was given to the enslaved and the oppressed. However, that enslaved and that oppressed broke the bondage where they read. It was illegal to learn to read, because once you read, you're going to find the truth in there and you're going to be like, wait a minute, what's happening? So the importance of reading and knowing, you want to be able to do that, because in verse 7, it's not just about hiding not your face from I and I, because you don't want to go down to the pit of destruction, of despair, of oppression. Okay? You don't want to go down there. So in verse 9, Psalm 143 talks about delivering I and I from I and I enemies. That is, the Most High is going to do that. You don't have to worry about that. You just flee to the Most High safety. That's it. And you're going to see the destruction of your enemies one by one. So you're going to, the Most High is teaching you. That's your teacher, teaching you to do the will of righteousness, kindness, mercy, and love. And that righteousness is good. And that is what's going to lead you on level ground. So Psalm 143, the verse today, coming from 1 Peter 1, 18 to 19. And then we have the walking with the Savior face to face, looking at walking with the Savior face to face. We got to face the Most High. And I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable to the Most High. I ask that honestly, and that you get something from this psalm a day. This has been Chant a Psalm a Day. As we outro, I want to outro with Steel Pulse. I don't have rights to this music. This is owned by Steel Pulse. And thank you for joining. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Say la and say la again. Woohoo! Go chant a psalm. Go chant down the wicked. Chant down the wicked every day.